Other things, lack of discipline is something that I think needs to be addressed when you want to build software. Creativity is a large aspect, but even bigger than that is discipline. Discipline with regard to what to build, how to build it, and to make sure that that you dot every I and you cross every T in delivering what you're supposed to deliver. So I think some of these aspects need to be addressed. The fact that we have a large pool of people who are more interested in projects as opposed to products. Products require many years of focus. If you want to be an expert in a particular domain, you don't become that in a year or two if it's anything substantial, like a database application or database server itself or operating system or chip design, or you name it. It takes many, many years of dedicated focus in a particular area. So we need to change that mindset in our talent pool that in order to be successful in a product space, you need to focus, you need to have many years under your belt, and you don't become an expert overnight. So that's kind of on the people side. But I think companies also need to do a better job with regard to growing their specifying what the career path ought to be for individuals, because from a cultural standpoint, it seems that everybody wants to become a manager or a director in India because that seems to be the more quote-unquote sexy title. But that doesn't have to be the case. Right? If you want to build a great product, you need to aspire towards an architect type of role, and that takes many years in an individual contributor fashion in order to get to that. So I think some of these changes need to occur. There are cultural changes. Companies need to be more proactive in promoting a career path that is focused at talent building over the long haul. And I think if those challenges can be overcome, we should see a positive spurt of product development coming out of India. But otherwise, I think we still will see only small pockets of success and not broad success in the near future.
Great. Thanks a lot for that comprehensive review, Ravi. And let me jump back with a question from the audience to you, which I think would be great for you to kick off, and then if the other panelists have additional comments. The question is, innovation and value go hand in hand, but what level of innovation is actually happening in India, and how is that translating into competitive advantage? So if you can comment from the Oracle perspective in the overall Oracle ecosystem.
Great. So the comments that I made prior are kind of broad general comments. Specifically with Oracle, we've been actually quite successful. We've been here for a long time, and we've been through several iterations of our model of interaction between the US and here. And I think we sort of settled on a model that seems to work fairly well. We have a well-established machinery for hiring, training, and building careers for people. So in that sense, I think there's a lot of positives to report, but I don't think that necessarily translates into broad positive across the industry from what I can tell. With regard to Oracle, development in India is an integral part of our software process. I don't think we could ship any software today without 100% concerted effort from our India team. So in that sense, it's a resounding success. But I think we still have, if you ask anybody at Oracle, I think everybody will agree that we've come a long way, but we still need to go that next step up where fundamentally large sets of products are architected from the ground up in India. And the next set of innovative large ideas emanate from here. I think we still have some work cut out for us in that regard, but I think we've made huge strides in that regard.
Yeah, I've got a thought on innovation as well. I don't think innovation just happens. I think innovation it becomes a cultural norm within the company. I know it does at Oracle. I know it does at Symphony Services for our clients. We're very, very focused on building an innovation culture, which means you promote it, it means you measure it, it means you reward people for it, and you're trying to buck the trend of the ITO industry, which has been a task-oriented, throw it over the wall, do the low-end kind of work, to product development. And if you don't have innovation and engineering then you're missing a huge part of the formula. So I don't think you can really do significant product engineering unless you have innovation. And it's not that people here aren't smart enough and can't do it. You just got to create an environment, promote it, and you need great clients who appreciate that and promote it and give people the ability and the information to go out and innovate. So it's absolutely possible, and I believe it's possible on a broad scale, but it's not going to happen on a broad scale. It's going to happen company by company, organization by organization.
Let me add to that and then hand it over to Steve for his comments. There is a view that India is not the country to come to for innovation. Our education system doesn't create innovators; it creates executors. So the question I'd pose to you, Steve, as trying to tap that talent, do you agree, disagree? And then again, I'll open it up to the other panelists as well. What is needed to one, if you believe in that hypothesis, what is needed to transition to an education system that really will create a pool of creative resources, not a bunch of executors?
So I probably disagree with that statement. I was born in a small village in India, and I know that the products of this country can actually be incredible innovators. I think that right now, and this ties to the comments that Ravi and Gordon made, is that the first step we have to do is that corporations need to take the lead on innovation. So today, when your economy is growing 9% plus a year, it's very easy to look at this and say, geez, things are going so well, why do I need to worry about the next stage of investment? Why do I need to worry about where my business will come from 10 years from now, 15 years from now? And I think that that change has to happen at a corporate level, as it is happening at companies like Symphony. And as that happens, I think that the workforce here is more than capable of doing it. The folks we've worked with at the prior companies, prior to Symphony and at Symphony, have the capacity to execute very well in product development. I think, frankly, it's not a priority, and it's really the biggest challenge.
Okay, great. I'm getting quite a few comments from the audience that they're really happy to see Jonathan from China here on the panel. So I think we're doing our bit to promote Indo-China friendship here. But there's a question that is directed to you. Are there any specific strategies being followed by China to bridge the cultural divide with respect to outsourcing and also address the talent scarcity? And I think this is probably more along the lines of not just the raw numbers, but the point Ravi was making, which I think China has a similar problem of the huge employee or the graduates coming out. There's a small percentage of them that are truly employable. So China probably has the same issue. So can you comment on those two areas, the cultural issue and what China is doing, as well as the talent issue?
I think Chinese culture is more conservative, more executions, and then China has developed a lot on the manufacturing outsourcing capability instead of creating innovative engineering. And China is still learning the way of India's success, how to train the disciplined engineer, how to follow in the process, plus with the good innovations as well. That's for the culture's question. That if I'm answering your questions. Secondly, is the large pool of talents which can be trained, but maybe not in the right environments. So most of them still in the learning stage as the environment grows. Just like our infrastructures has been improved in the past years, the engineering disciplines, the project management skills, the understanding of the complexity of the entire scope of the end-to-end product development cycles, it's still under development. So there's a lot of learning curves for the Chinese company to learn from the experienced countries like India. So there's a lot of a partnership that these two countries can work with.